Hello, we're back.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode 2 of our curriculum chats. This episode is going to be called Chasing Your Dreams, and I am Mila, your moderator. I'm joined by Marla, who is our founder of IO for Teens. So just as a reminder, some housekeeping before we get started. This is part of our inaugural curriculum at IO for Teens, Inc. The name of the curriculum is called the Dreamcatcher, a playbook to achieve your dreams. So at the conclusion of this video, please do go to our website, www.ioforteens.org, and download a free PDF of the curriculum. Also, please follow us on all of our social media platforms. The details will be in the link below. And then finally, we just want to tell you about an exciting new opportunity coming up. We are having an inaugural speaker series. It's a career speaker series, and it is called the initial one is going to be from a UCLA faculty member, Alex Budak. And yep. The name of the book he's going to be talking about is Becoming a Change Maker. So this is a free event. It's going to be on Zoom. This is a pivotal, I think, opportunity for anyone seeking to implement positive change at any level. You could be in any level of your career. You could maybe not be in your career yet. And so he's going to talk about practical tips on how to become a change maker. So an exciting opportunity. Please do register. We're going to put the link to register below in the details, so please do go ahead and register for that. The lecture will be on March the 9th, so it'll be March 9th, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So again, please do register for that event. And with that, let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay. All right, so let's jump into the curriculum that we're going to be talking about today, which is called Chasing Your Dreams. Yes. So Marla, tell us how long you've been chasing your dreams.
Great question, Jamila. I've been chasing my dreams for a long time, since I was about 5 or 6. So growing up, and hopefully my friend Samantha, she's watching this, growing up as a little child in Jacksonville, Florida on Justina Road, we used to color our pictures. And this is back in the day when this was safe, so I wouldn't recommend doing this now, kids, okay? But back in the day when it was safe to go out there and do it, we would literally color our pictures, stand on the side of the road, and sell them for 5 to 10 cents to strangers walking by. Or we would go down the street to the apartments down the street and knock on people's door and ask them will they buy our pictures. And so we would take that money and then go and buy candy from the store across the street. And that's been my entrepreneurial journey ever since. So I've just been motivated to keep moving forward ever since. So it starts young.
No, that's good. So everyone watching, so the moral of the story really is you can start chasing your dreams at any age and using the resources right in front of you, right? So, Marla, let's talk about this curriculum. So part of the curriculum is about motivation, so motivation and engagement. So when I think about motivation, I think about drive, or simply put, hustle, right? Yeah. So what if I am a teenager and I know what I want, which is the first section about discovering your dreams. I know what I want to do, but I'm not sure if I'm motivated to pursue that in the long term. What can I do?
Great question. So as you know, IO for Teens is all about science, right? So in theory, so there's a theory out there called self-determination theory, which is broken down into 3 components: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. So let's talk a little bit about those. Autonomy is about freedom, and just putting a plug in, that's what I do my research in. I'm doing my research on that for my dissertation. So stay tuned for that. But autonomy is about freedom. So if you don't allow yourself to think, basically use your imagination to think outside the box, then you're not giving yourself the autonomy to go do so. So next is the competence. Competence is all about, do you think you can actually do it? Do you think you're smart enough to actually go out there and do it? And then relatedness is being related to the topic. What is it? How does it tie in? How does it connect to your future self? You're this age now, but you're gonna continue to grow in age. So where do you want to be? Where do you want to go? How do all 3 of them connect? So if you notice, all 3 of those, I mentioned the word think about yourself. How are you thinking about yourself? So it's all about what we talked about before in the first module, which is why this is why they all add up on each other. may stack up is about mindset. You're thinking about yourself. Your mindset is all about that determination. That's why that theory is so important, because if you're determined, you're motivated to move forward. So you have the freedom to do so. You have the competence, how you think about how smart you are, the competence to do it. And it's related to whatever that future self is.
Okay, that's great. So that's good because that kind of sort of ties back to something we always say at IO for Teens, which is the thing that motivates you is usually tied to who you are. So you have to know yourself first before you can determine what motivates you and what brings you joy. So knowing who you are is always the first step.
Yep.
So motivation is only one category. So tell us about the other categories in our IO for Teens curriculum.
Yes. So we have a list of them under this particular section, Chasing Your Dreams. So recruitment, how do you prepare for what you want, right? People are out there. We have companies out there, industries out there, but how do you prepare for that? We're going to talk about that. Job analysis. So how are jobs actually designed? So how does X company decide they need this company? Well, it's this person. It's based off of a problem they're trying to solve. That's where job analysis come from. I company X have a problem I'm trying to solve for. Motivation and engagement. We just talked about that one. Training and development. How am I preparing myself? You got to consistently stay in a learning mindset. Learning does not end, guys and gals and everyone. Motivation does not end learning does not end in your senior year or even in college. You're going to continue to learn as you keep going. So you have to continue to stay on top of your industry or what the areas that you want to go into, whether it's YouTube, whether it's being a manager or whatever. You have to stay on top of that. Organizational development and performance. That comes into play with change management, right? So a lot of change, really consistent things are change and taxes and death. Okay, we won't get into taxes and death, but change is going to continue to happen. So as you continue to move forward in your life, we're going to talk a little bit more about that in our curriculum. HR technology, really technology as a whole. You're going to have to know how to use technology, which a lot of you may already know that, but some of them may not. You have to understand how to use technology. We're not talking about being a technology guru, but the basics of technology, of how to go out there and simply, going back to what we said earlier, apply for a job. A lot of that's done online, right? How can you go to these websites? Where do you know to go? How do you know to use the technology? And last are benefits. What do you deserve? When you're out there looking for these jobs, or even if you're an entrepreneur, you deserve some type of benefit, whether that's retirement plans, whether that's vacation, PTO. Some companies are right now offering sabbaticals, which is where you're taking a chunk of time off to go do whatever you want to go do, right? That is a benefit to work for. And that's something you have to look for when you're moving forward in your career.
Okay, thank you, Marla. No, that's great. Those are great tips. So to close things out in this particular section of the curriculum, Marla, tell us one thing we can all do this week to keep ourselves motivated as we are pursuing our dreams.
I know one thing is a great question. I know one thing to help keeps me motivated is I keep a constant list, either on my phone or written down, of the things I want. The things I want to do, the places I want to go, things I want to experience, things I want to purchase, buy, the careers I want to pursue. I keep a list of all of that. And I look at that list quite often, probably daily, just to remind myself. Again, this helps me to stay motivated. Even when I do get out of those times where I'm not motivated, I look at that list and say, oh, okay, this is what I want. I'm gonna go after this. This is what I want to do. I'm gonna go after. So if you don't have that list, make the list, write it down, whether it's in your phone or recommend a journal, recommend a journal. So writing it down in a journal, either one, but that's your action item for this week.
That's great. And I may add one thing that I add to my list is I would have a list, but also include why. Why do you want this thing, right? And when you feel your motivation waning, remember that why. So I'd add that to it. So that's awesome. So that is your action item for this week. Write down your list, write why you want that to happen, and let's go from there. All right, so that's a great place for us to wrap today for this episode of Curriculum Chats. Please do remember to go to our website, www.ioforteens.org, and download a copy of the curriculum. Next week, we'll be getting into the next episode, really. It'll be phased out when we roll these out on Zoom, but on the next section of the curriculum, we'll be talking about living up to your potential. We'll be giving some practical tips from the curriculum on that. And from there, don't forget to register for the Career Speaker Series coming up March 9th. And with that, we thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us today. And we look forward to continuing with you as we discover IO.
All right. Bye, everybody.